It's that time again. Chapter 334 of My Hero Academia was an epic one. From the insanely memorable artwork to All for One just getting outplayed by Star and Stripe, it was a wild one. But the end conclusion of that was an extension. Originally, the next day was the time Shigaraki would have perfected his body, but now they have a week before this happens. Bakugo wasn't too thrilled about this, but as a parting gift, Star and Stripe bought them time. Time that All Might made it clear they'll use to their advantage to take down All for One and Shigaraki once and for all. With this announcement, we'd see the students gathered around in hero attire, and notably Deku in his makeshift hero costume, which uses his UA physical education attire as its base. This time, at least some of it will be used for a training arc. As always, if you haven't already, please be sure to drop a like on this video to support what we do, and subscribe to Plot Armor with notifications on to never miss an upload. We upload almost daily and would love to have you join in on our discussions. If you haven't heard, we do have a Discord server now where you guys, the Plot Army, can talk about My Hero Academia and all your other favorite series. Link to that will be in the description of this video. Let's get on with this discussion. It's worth acknowledging the possibility that this time could be used for recon and information gathering. The heroes could try yet again to get the jump on the villains in the same way they did at the start of the war arc, and kind of again with Star and Stripe versus Shigaraki. This is possible for sure, however, if it's going to be done, it'll be done by the more experienced heroes, not the younger ones we're familiar with at UA. These efforts are likely not going to be fruitful. Deku and the heroes in general were unable to find anything during the Rogue arc, and not too much has changed since then. The advantage created with the surprise during the war was when All for One was not present. His intelligence is higher than that of all the other villains. He's made it this far as a villain because of this. There is no one better at staying hidden, so it's unlikely to find anything too useful, and the search efforts will likely not include these younger heroes. This time for them will likely be spent preparing for the fight. Deku has a lot he can improve on because of the quirks he unlocked. Bakugo has his recent awakening to develop, and the others need to catch up as much as they reasonably can. During the Rogue arc, we saw Deku learning his new quirks on the fly. He was successful with them thanks to his own quick thinking and guidance from the previous users, but this isn't ideal. Ideally, it should be done similarly to the way Deku learned how to use the core strength of One for All. And really, it's just the same way anyone learns how to use their quirks, through training and experience. The issue is a lack of time, so we may see a very creative strategic regimen during the remaining week. It may even feel like a throwback to the beginning of the story, when Deku trained his body in unconventional ways, cleaning a beach, basically carrying All Might like a weight, and so on. The difference this time around though, is his friends will be involved. We observed a long time ago now that Deku's quirks are pretty similar to those of his classmates. This is what helped us predict Danger Sense becoming a quirk, but yes, this may become relevant again as we see his friends try helping him master these quirks. This will make Deku way more capable during the final battles. Instead of thinking on the fly, he will know what's possible and act accordingly. Another very exciting thing about this is we'll see amazing quirk combinations, new super moves. For example, a combination between Smokescreen and Danger Sense, or more Black Whip, Float Chaos. Super moves are always exciting, and I think we'll be seeing more of that very soon. During this final training, Deku may also reveal his final quirk, although it wouldn't surprise me if while he reveals it here and trains it, we, the readers, don't see it and instead just later get the reveal in battle with a flashback to him training it similar to what happened with Float. Either way, it's exciting. Of course, the sooner the better, though, because I think we're all dying just to see what that final quirk will be. Bakugo's explosions changed during the war. He was suddenly able to move faster, and the explosions even changed to be more like stars during that instance. During his training, he'll probably acknowledge this change and become more comfortable with the change and consider new super attacks possible with his developments. As for Shoto, he will likely focus on his fire side during his training. He saw up close just how deadly Dabi's fires can be, and not only that, but Dabi's comfort using it despite it burning him up. So maybe this will give Shoto the feeling that he needs to be better, and not for his father or brother, but for himself. The point that it's his power to use will be relevant as well. This will just serve to make the fight between him and Dabi all the more better, something I think we can all get behind. The rest of Class 1A will definitely be present and improve as well. To go into the possibilities for all of them though would be a bit much. We have to ask you guys though, is there any character you're hoping to see huge developments from? Personally, I think we here at Plot Armor would like to see another insane moment for Kirishima, so development for him would be great. Class 1B will definitely be present in the final arc. Hard to say if they'll train together with 1A, but they've proven they can keep up, so we can expect them to play a meaningful role here in the end. I am personally leaning towards them being a part of the training with 1A, because at this point, school is hardly a thing, and with that, classes aren't a thing. This is a life or death situation, so those invisible boundaries may be taken down with this final training. An important character to mention here is Shinso. In artwork for a recent showcase, Horikoshi drew Shinso with the rest of Class 1A, leading most of us to conclude the decision has been made regarding his class position. Although all that is irrelevant if classes won't be separated now, it is a bit sad we never get to see him interact and be a part of the cast in a normal school setting, but it is what it is at this point, of course. What we can bet on though is him being a part of this training arc and in a way play a similar role to Eraserhead from here on out, because after all, that is his master. Putting it out there now that Shinso will most likely get his quirk to work on Shigaraki in the end, however it will fail because like Deku with One For All, Shigaraki has an internal will able to help him snap out of something like the brainwash quirk. As for the big three, they may be out in public helping keep things in order, but it would be amazing to see a callback to when Mirio destroyed 1A by himself. A second round where they beat him or at least make it very close would be entertaining. If you guys agree with that, let us know in the comments below. Up next, we should acknowledge Eri. Doubtful we'll see much of her during these final days. There have been more than a handful of times Horikoshi could have brought her up again, and he chose not to. I'd bet there's something else for her in the story, but not during this week most likely unless it somehow involves Kurogiri. How insane would it be though if the heroes pulled up on the villains for the battle using the Warp Gate quirk? That would be hype. At the end of this training, we will most likely see new costumes for at least some characters, at least Deku, Bakugo, and Shoto. Society is a mess, but Yue still has Hatsume. This is her final chance to be relevant in the story. Personally, I hope Horikoshi teased these new costumes with the crazy upgrades we saw on the popularity poll a while back. But with this being the final training arc in My Hero Academia most likely, I have to ask you guys, what is your favorite training arc in My Hero Academia? Personally, I'm gonna have to go with 1A versus 1B. I think when we read it, I didn't enjoy it so much, but now in hindsight and seeing it again in season 5, I've come to appreciate it more because we got to see those 1B characters in amazing fashion. Another thing about this being the final training arc, you also have to wonder who will be the instructors guiding this. We know All Might is present, but will he be staying there? We know Eraserhead might be physically able, but will he be there? You have to wonder about that as well. I'm hoping we see Eraserhead train them because it's kind of like one last moment for them as a class because this is the end of the story, right? So to see one more moment where he guides them would be nice, but it would also be good to see a callback to when All Might helped them originally come up with super moves and all that. A little bit of a funny one too would be to see Gran Torino make a return. I know he's in the hospital right now, but you never know if he might come back and give Deku one last tip. Whether that's a mental thing or like an attack, it would just be nice to see Gran Torino in one last meaningful moment before the story ends. Assuming all this really happens, this is just gonna be great to see everyone know Deku's secret, there's no holding back, and to even hear them maybe criticize him for things, now knowing the full truth. It's gonna be great, and I'm just looking forward to see what each character helps him train. For example, Uraraka with float, or Bakugo with more hand-to-hand combat, or just propelling himself in general. We will see. But yeah, those are our predictions for this final training arc. It has a chance to be one of the best. Let's hope for the best. Thanks for watching the video to the end. In the comments, let us know if you want another training arc. Your support is always appreciated. If there's any other video you'd like to see us make before the final battle begins, let us know down below as well. If you haven't already, please be sure to drop a like on the video and subscribe to join the plot army. Until next time, keep that plot armor on you. I'm KJ. Have a great day. Goodbye.